All right. Do we have level? I don't know why it suddenly changed volume, but it is definitely looks quieter. I did a plug-in to get rid of some of the boominess, and I got to remember how to do the plugins. How's everyone doing? We'll see if anybody logs in. It's a holiday. It's inauguration day. You might be watching it. Inauguration and everything. Totally fine. I probably won't stay on very long, but we're going to start talking about the Segovia scale thing. And I'm going to try to take the Segovia scale and make it applicable. That's a word. For electric players or for flat pickers, and you don't necessarily have to have a classical guitar and use your fingers. So, Holly, what's going on? Good morning. Yeah, good morning to you. We're in the same time zone. There's Bob. I'm gonna root for Ohio State, no doubt. I got to root for Notre Dame, just so you know. I was born across the street. I used to have some Notre Dame swag when I was a kid. Maybe, I don't remember, last time I had a Notre Dame sweatshirt, probably, or t-shirt, probably in my 20s. This is Culver. This is a military academy in Indiana. And it's just one of those things. My wife gets me these things like for my birthday. She orders them from their website. I never went to Culver. It's a military academy for, I think it's junior high and high school, kind of a prep school. Not necessarily for problem kids at all. It's mostly for rich people's kids, but you live there. That's just the weirdest thing. I couldn't imagine sending our kids away to live in a school. It's just like, that just seems so weird. But some people, that's what they did, and that's kind of their story. But let's see. I want to try to figure out. I had a plugin. Advanced audio properties. Where was at one point I had a plug-in here, and I don't remember how I did that. Lock volume, no. Filters, properties, advanced properties, maybe under properties. Device, yeah. That's what I want. Okay. Settings. Maybe just general settings? Audio. Channels. Oh, devices. Meters, advanced. I can't. Oh, wait, there's more stuff down here. Hotkeys, no. Okay. Output. Warning, recording cannot be paused if recording. Okay, whatever. Dang it. I'll have to watch a video on it again, because I remember I used a plugin it was weird because it was a plugin that I have for my studio setup. They all showed up when I wanted to insert a little bass roll off, because we were getting a little muddy bass thing. So anyway, good morning. Happy Milk Day, happy Inauguration Day. I just watched the swearing in, his history and all that. Let's see. Gudnavand. Jan. I don't know, is Holly's here, and Bob is here. Bruce, I think, isn't Bruce in California? I can't remember. This is NAMM week. I will potentially live stream from NAMM one day this week. It's not NAMM week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday is NAMM. Yeah, he's in San Francisco. Okay, he's actually there now. Okay. We're gonna talk about Segovia scales. I actually have a diagram. That was quick. I'm gonna go. So go to the oh, there's Bruce. Let me see what he says. Yeah, that was a long train ride he took. He trained from Florida to San Francisco. I couldn't do that. So let's see. Okay, get rid of all this. All right, so I'm going to go to the Discord page. There's a welcome link there. I'm not sure if it automatically gets you into, if you click on that link, if you're automatically a member, or if somebody has to approve you. Dennis may have to approve you. And so I'm going to go to, oh, there's a question there. Oh, okay, no questions. Tom's lesson PDFs. That's where I put it. Oh, and I went ahead and did all the triads. I created an Excel file so you can download that and edit it yourself. And then I also completed it. Hopefully, right? I think so. Again, I didn't have a symbol for double sharp, so you'll see two sharps when it's double sharp. And again, it's kind of the extreme. Most of those are not common chords or the common way to describe chords, but I just wanted to make sure that the ultimate goal there was for you to see that skeleton A, C, E, C, E, G, G, B, D, all of that, those kind of terms, DFA, you should just immediately start there, and then you can build the triads from that. So, so I'm gonna download. I'm gonna upload to the server there. Go to the desktop. YouTube. I found this thing. It's a JPEG, just online. So I'm gonna. If you want to print this up, it's gonna basically show us the ascending and descending Segovia scale and where the shift is. I think let me see what this one looks like. This one is big. I think it would be too big for our screen. See, this is the one that, well, or truth be told, not big enough. Actually, I may change this. Let me create two. No, cancel. There we go. Let me turn this into basically two things, because I can put the scale here on the bottom, because the fingers don't change, I don't think. They're the same. So crop. This I can put down low. Say window. All right, so here I can put this down here. And not necessarily the way you're used to seeing, but it does follow the guitar nicely. In fact, it kind of follows my guitar. If I put it over here. Okay, descending, this is exactly the same. And then if I take the other part, I can put it over here. And again, I probably won't be on as long as normal. I've got work to do. We've got actually holiday plans. We're actually having friends over, and so I got to get my work done before friends can show up. We're in a jacuzzi and enjoy the day off. It's such as it is. I don't ever take a day off. My back and gut are sore today, and I think I was way too sedentary yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a day off, but of course I played 2 services in the morning, so I was on stage until 11:30 or so, and then so here's a tab version of it. But we're going to talk about a lot of things here related to this, okay? Sorry, hopefully, hey, Pepper's here. Pepper knows this. Oh, you're sick in bed? Oh, dang. Yeah, I think I watched 2 football games yesterday, right? I watched both of them sitting on the sofa. And then Beth and I binged like 3 episodes of Suits. We'd never seen that show before, so we're in season 5 now. So it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. It's still basically a soap opera, a primetime soap opera, but it's not bad. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Good to see you. No one at NAMM yet. No, NAMM doesn't start until Thursday. I mean, I think there's Wednesday you can go. PW LeBron, what's going on? It's been a while. Mondays are usually full of meetings, but today is a holiday in America anyway, so I think it's a national holiday. Oh, you heard the cannon fire. I saw that go off. Yeah. That's funny. 21 gun salute or something like that. We're not going to have many here. I'm probably not going to break 20, I don't think. But I'm here if anyone wants to jump on. So there were two things that I had to do when I was studying classical guitar at Butler University. Technically, my major was guitar. Yeah. I think they tried to get me to go into music education, but I said I didn't want to do that. I wanted to. In music education, I would have learned how to play a lot of instruments because like you're going to be a junior high orchestra. I did not want to. I was already teaching. I already had 40 students a week at a store, and I didn't really want to go, from college into teaching at high school or something like that. That wasn't part of my plan. My plan was to move out here. I wanted to have as many skills as possible. And so classical guitar, and then I played in the big band at the college at Butler. But there were two things that my teacher got me going on right away, and that was Segovia scales and Giuliani arpeggios. And we've talked about Giuliani arpeggios. And Giuliani arpeggios are basically for your right hand. And now my hand is like still cold. I cold plunged this morning for about a little over 5 minutes. I usually cold plunge after I work out. And I woke up at 4:30 this morning, so I was like, oh, dang. Okay, well, I can work out before we get together. You see a flashing red light there. It's still going to flash. Anyway. So usually after I cold plunge, after I work out, I cold plunge, and so I had to turn on the heat in my office because my fingers are still, my hands are still cold. I can feel it when I touch my face. And when I'm cold plunging, I generally turn my face if it's a sunny day, which so far it almost always is here. I turn my face to the sun, not opening my eyes, but it's supposed to be good for mood and kind of an anti-depression thing. When the days get short, I do tend to struggle with what's it called? Short day depression. I forget it's a winter thing. It's common for a lot of people, and ever since I've been cold plunging, though, it hasn't happened. So the last 3 years, I haven't had that kind of sad, morose kind of winter blues kind of thing. So I should probably just be doing this warm up. I got warm ups that I can do. Yeah, and I'm not sitting properly. Technically, you should have your left foot on the rest and then do this. Again, I'm not really going to say you have to do this on a classical guitar. You can do these on an electric guitar. You can do these on a steel string guitar. You can do it on an electric sitar. I don't care. You can use a pick. There are definitely going to be some benefits, though, to using your fingers, especially if you're not generally someone who plays with their fingers. This is a kind of a slow entry. And the Giuliani arpeggios, a little out of tune. The Giuliani arpeggios are almost exclusively for your right hand because your left hand is just playing C and then G7. It's very, very, very simple for the left hand, but the right hand is the one that's getting the workout. And especially my teacher, he made me accent different beats and different fingers, and and so you would do it 100 times this way and 100 times this way and 100 with different accents, and I was like, oh. And at the time, I was like, I'll never use this. It's like trigonometry in high school, I'm never going to use this. But sure enough, one of the skills that I have now, when I'm recording. I'm just randomly playing notes, but I'm able to accent and bring out certain notes, which is really helpful when you're trying to maybe put a melody in the middle of a chord instead of the melody being like that. You can do something like, and put it in the middle of the voicings instead of at the top, and things like that. its usefulness showed up later in life, oftentimes, as often things that you learn and you're going, why am I learning this? They often do. So, who else have I not said hi to? Oh, we got 16. Let's see if we break 20. Still don't feel like I'm in tune. Alex got me this new snark tuner. I'm not a fan of the snark tuner. Alex got this for me for Christmas. Alex and Brad and Garrett are all at the Larrivee factory. I got invited to go to that too, but there we go. But like I said, we have plans. I got to work today, so I couldn't do it. But okay. Now, the thing about when my teacher had me do these Segovia scales, it was they were like so many things. Now, keep in mind, there's 24 scales. There's 12 major and 12 minor. And the minor are what's called melodic minor. So they play a major sixth and a major seventh on the way up. And then flap them back to a pure minor on descending. We're not going to do that one today. We may, I don't know how far we're going to get because there's so many variations. But the great thing about this, the Segovia scales, is that they're going to work both hands. Both hands are going to get a workout. Again, so I had two things I had to do, and I would spend an hour on each. I'd spend an hour on Segovia scales and an hour on Giuliani arpeggios. And I might spend an hour on just 4 or 5 different Giuliani arpeggios, maybe as many as 12, but there are 120 of them. I think there's 10 sets of 12 that are related to each other and within those sets. So it was a daily workout, and again I've got benefits from it. My speed, I probably was faster when I was younger. Now, one thing you might want to get is some kind of metronome for your phone. I have, it's just called Tempo, and I think it was free, but like I can put 4/4, and I just do quarter notes. Nice thing about it is I could put 16th note hits, I could do 8th note hits, but that's the quarter note. And I'm using on my right hand, I'm playing index, middle, index, middle. I'm sticking with that. You've got, and so, but there's also multiple variations. There's index, middle, middle, index, middle, ring, ring, middle, index, ring, ring, index. So that's 6. And then you have this thing where it's I, M, A, M. Oh, the level of dexterity. And then I just saw a new one. I didn't even think about doing it, but reversing it, going A by A, I mean ring, finger. M is middle, I is index. Those two make sense. A is, I think it's annular, which is the Spanish. Let's see. Once you get going, it feels like the other one, but I messed up somewhere in the way because I should have ended on the ring finger and I ended on the index finger. We're not gonna worry about that one yet. Really, what we want to try to do is just to try to get this scale down. Okay, so we're gonna start in second position, meaning our first finger is going to be assigned the 2nd fret. All right, but we're going to start on the 3rd fret, which is the C note. We play this, and if you want to use a pick, you want to use one finger. It doesn't matter. We're going to try to memorize this scale, all right? And it should super duper sound familiar. It should sound like do, re, mi, do, a deer, a female deer, okay? Oh, do you slide from this C to D? No. It's, you don't hear the slide. It's not an audible slide. We're going to work on that when we get there, okay? But we're going to start on the C note here, third fret, second finger on the 5th string. Just play that. And if you're using your first finger, let's do what's called a through stroke. So our finger, we're going to just come through like this and not rest on the low string. We're not going to rest on the string below it. That gives you more volume. So if you do go back and forth between those two, you can hear a volume change. And the reason is you can really dig in because you know the string is going to stop you. That's what flamenco players generally, that's how they're digging in. I was taught it slows you down, but then all of a sudden I see flamenco players playing faster than anybody. And I'm like, okay, well then that's not right. But I was taught that a through stroke is faster than a rest stroke. So a through stroke is when your finger kind of goes through, and the rest is obviously you're resting on the next string. Through just kind of means, I don't know. Okay, but for now you can use 1 or 2 fingers, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's get the scale down first, and then we'll start talking about the right hand aspect, okay? No, there are not going to be any open strings here. So we go second finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, then we're going to play the D note here with our pinky. So 2, you can see it right down here, okay? Second finger, 4th finger, 3rd fret, 5th fret, and then 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and 5th fret. So it's going to be, finger-wise, it's going to be 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Practice that up and down. All right, now we're going to go continue on. So 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Then we're going to go 1, 3. And now we're at the B note. And this is where we have the shift. I guess you could say it's a slide up to the C note. But if you want to practice that, you can practice the scale like this. Instead of playing that C note with your pinky, 1, 3, 4, and that I'm talking about 1, 3, 4. I'm talking about your left-hand fingers, but it's really 2, 4, 5 fret-wise. Okay, but we can practice playing that last note, that last C, with our first finger. See, so you're going on the 3rd string. We got 1, 3, and then jump up here, 1 fret above your 3rd finger. You would normally play that with your pinky, but because we want a position shift to go to the 2nd octave, we go to there. And from here, it's all in one position, which is nice. So we have a full C major scale, full octave, starting on that note. And I'll show you those notes in a second, but we want to work this. Try that. Hey, you can even just practice this. If you want to continue, you can do that. So I'm going 1, 3, 1, 3. 1, 3 at the 2nd fret, and 1, 3 at the 5th fret. And then, okay, so you can even practice that backwards because we're going to have to do that backwards. Exercise. Remember, we always talk about taking the part that's the problem section of a piece or a song or whatever, and just work it, play it 1,000 times until you're more natural playing that than the rest of the song. It actually is a great help for getting through tough pieces. You just work the hard parts so that you're not nervous coming up on them. You just know them, you know. And so, not that you would be nervous playing that, but. Okay, so let's finish it off. We're at the 5th fret now, so we're in 5th position. First finger is assigned the 5th fret. Oh, my back is so sore. Like I said, I was so sedentary yesterday, and I woke up so sore. That's why I got up so early. Okay, so we have 5th fret, first finger, 3rd string. Then third finger. So 1, 3, and then we're going to go same fret, 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Or you could think of fret numbers 5, 7, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8. And you can think of as far as letter names too, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Just a C major scale, or Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Yeah, it's on the G string. Yep. So at the tempo 80, playing quarter notes. Thanks, Holly. Now, we can do this a bunch. We should probably work on this until you don't have to think about it. And it's going to take a minute if you've never done it before. If you know it already, you're already there, then great. Because I find that where I need to concentrate is this hand, especially when I start mixing it up. But there's also a temptation, like when you're descending, to use the same finger 2 times in a row. And kind of like bluegrass, where we talked about pure alternating picking, it's faster if you just say I am all the way up. Index, middle, index, middle, index, middle. Now, probably for a lot of players, I see that if they're really wanting to shred, they will go I, A. And the reason they use I, A is because those 2 fingers are closer in similar length. So, you know, you just got to get the second finger out of the way. But, you know, you can even try it out with just play the C note. See which. See, I'm swinging not even with the middle ring. It's been a long time since I worked on this stuff. And then with the index middle or index ring, it's not even. That's where the metronome kind of comes in handy, because like I said, I can go to okay, now I can go to, you know, I can hear what even eighth notes sound like, because I'm kind of doing a swing thing, and I don't want a swing thing. I want it to be even eighth notes. It's not jazz. Hey, what's going on, baby bang? So that's kind of where having a metronome can be kind of crucial. And then the other reason to have a metronome is you can chart your progress. So if you start out at 80 BPM and you're doing quarter notes, and then you work on your eighth notes, and then you work on your triplets, and then you work on your 16th notes, right? So 16th notes. Be that fast. Got to aim the camera down a little bit. Hold on, so I can do it without changing the focus. So you can see my right hand. Okay, so that that would be 16th notes at 80 BPM. Probably the fastest I ever got to is probably 16th notes at 120. Now, another thing we can do to help increase speed is, you can just do this with the open A string, is you can play with your index, and then immediately mute the ringing string with your second finger, with your middle finger. So it's like that. And what that does is that trains you in preparation. What that does is it sets it up so that your second finger now is ready to pluck. And then you do the same thing with your first. You do. And if you ever need to have staccato, and if you pluck further down here, the strings will offer more resistance, and I feel like they're a little squishy here. It's hard to play fast here because you got to wait for the string to catch up. Here, the string's ready to go. So a lot of when you see those flamenco players playing really fast using all those rest strokes, they're moving their hand down here, and they're doing. And like I said, I'm not very fast. Those flamenco players are crazy. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for all the business. Let's see, what is it? Welcome. Thanks for joining. We have all skill levels here. Yes, we do. Yeah, I try to have almost every lesson. I try to make it something an advanced player can learn something and a beginner can learn something. Sometimes it's a little tough for beginners. You can't make if you can't make a G chord or you can't hold a note down or something like that, it's definitely going to be a problem. Let's see. All right. So I told you Alex got me this. So this is the new Snark Tuner, and it's rechargeable. So it has a USB cable that you can like hook it up to your phone thing. Where's the? It's a mini USB. Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's one of those mini USBs. So you can hook it up to I think it came with a cable too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. But you should probably you got a drawer full of mini USB cables. If you're like me, I need to organize better. But yeah, it's crazy. I could probably get a box that has different sections, and these are all mini USBs, and these are all. But yeah, or USB to mini USB, and there's too many. It's like they're like it's a spaghetti bowl in a couple of my drawers over there, and I think I have another drawer like in the bedroom that has the same thing. It's like power supplies just laying in a drawer all tied up. Okay, so as far as rhythms on the right hand, there's basically I generally do eighth note, triplet eighth notes, 16th notes, and then a dotted eighth to a 16th. And what that does is that kind of sneakily makes you play faster, okay? And a dotted eighth, so let's play these. So if this is the tempo, I'm gonna go down to 60. All right, and I'm gonna go back, sorry, that sounds fast, but here's the quarter note. It's so slow, you're going to rush. That's why it's nice to have that 8-note subdivision. I'm getting ahead because it's so slow. But what I'm playing is eighth notes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are quarter notes. Eighth notes are twice as fast. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If we want to play a C note, notice it's not ringing out because I'm muting. I'm preparing. That's all about preparation. That's how you play faster. I'm hitting it with my first finger, and my second finger immediately mutes. I hit it with my second, and then my first finger immediately mutes. Nose itches. Don't pick your nose on live stream. Okay. Hey, Dennis, what's going on? Oh, fogging's so bad. Glad you're home safe. Okay, now triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, dun, 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 dun. That's slower than I think it is. It's pretty slow. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can count it like that. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's actually going to be, you're going to actually, with the right hand, you're going to be, it's going to be I, M, I, and then M, I, M. It's still going to be pure alternating between index and middle. I, M, I, M, I, M, okay? But it's going to kind of feel like you're doing I, M, I, M, I, M. So we get. No, Brother Bruce is resting. He took a train, took an Amtrak from Florida to San Francisco. When he said he was going to do it, I was like, you know, that's like, I'm assuming you have a sleeper card, he said, for the first night. I'm like, it's got to be like, I mean, I guess the nice thing about trains is they can go 24/7, right? So, yeah, so maybe the first night you get almost all the way there. But dang, I don't know. Again, I'm using it. You don't need to do the muting thing or the speed thing. You can use a rest stroke. I mean a through stroke. Totally fine. You can use a rest stroke. Here's the volume difference. Sixteenths would be 4 hits for every quarter note. So it's 4 times faster than a quarter note, 2 times faster than an eighth note. So we got, it's still slow for me. And again, we're not here yet. If you could do the scale up and down with eighth notes at 60, I'd be really impressed. That would be this. And don't worry about, you could index middle, but it'd be. And I started on an index, you should end on an index. If you didn't, you probably messed up somewhere. Now, one thing you almost want to hold on, move your hand at the last second, ascending and descending, because you want that note. You don't want this, you don't want where everything's long, da, you know, da, 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 da. You know, you want that note to ring out as long as you can manage it. And then don't be too excited to hit that B note like I'm doing. So you notice how hard I'm hitting that B note when I'm so excited to get there? You don't want short. Now, if you're muting, it's irrelevant. Okay, if we're doing the speed thing, it's kind of irrelevant. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to go. I got work to do. We got friends coming over in a little bit. Man, and I'm sore. I thought cold plunging would help. It just made it worse. I cold plunge a few times a week. And I can only do it in the winter because the pool's cold in the winter, but it's not cold in the summer. It gets to like 80 degrees in the summer. It's like, Yeah, that's not cold plunging. That's a bath. But I really like the benefits of cold plunge. You know, if I had unlimited resources, I might put a cold plunge. I thought about putting a cold plunge in the in-ground cold plunge tank right next to the jacuzzi. But it means you'd have to have some kind of refrigeration for that. But you could, I wonder how long it would take. Well, it takes right now, as cold as the pool is, the water in the pool is about 50 degrees. So it takes about an hour and a half for the jacuzzi to get warm up to 103. And so in the summer, if it was at 80 and I wanted to lower it down to 50, then it probably wouldn't take an hour and a half, but I don't know. I might cover it and just leave it on all the time, but then that might get expensive with electricity. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it. Cold plunging is a winter activity. All right, with that clicking going on. Now the other pattern that I told you about was a dotted 8th to 16th, and that one's designed to kind of sneak you into playing faster without realizing you're playing faster. But it's not easy, and that would sound like this. So you have to imagine 8th, 16th notes. So it's like this. And what that does is if you play a scale like that, it tricks you a little bit into playing the 16th note speed. So, okay, sorry. Dennis, you said something. Let's see. Incidentally, let's see. I also had my first live guitar lesson last Thursday. Oh, interesting. Good. Well, that's awesome. Incidentally, he told me to start off with a C major scale starting on the 5th fret here. Yep, and that's the second half of this Segovia scale right here. So let's go over this again. How many do we have now? Well, 19, but we broke 20. I was wrong. We're at 19 now. Peak was about, well, peak was 21. So, okay. So the full scale again, starting on the 3rd fret, 2nd finger, 5th string, and then pinky on the 5th fret, and the next string down to the D string, we go 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, and using our 1st, 2nd, and pinky. All right. All right, and then, and then if I don't end up live, I mean, just kind of keep notifications turned on if I live stream from the NAMM show this week. If I don't, I probably will log on, but it might be one of those things where there's too many people there, and the cell, because I won't be using Wi-Fi. I might use Wi-Fi. They have Wi-Fi there, but it's just thousands and tens of thousands of people there, and so it's really hard. The Wi-Fi doesn't really work great. And so maybe my T-Mobile cellular will work. I have unlimited cellular, so I don't mind streaming from that. But we'll see. I'll keep my charger in my pocket so I can fully charge right before I go to live stream. And we'll see. And then we're doing an after thing too. Alex and I are probably going to go do an after party thing. And I might live stream from that, but that'll be late for some of you. So, all right. So that scale again. So we got the first 2 strings. 3rd fret, 5th fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 2nd fret, 4th fret. And then here's the shift. 5th fret, 7, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8. Backwards. 8, 7, 5, 8, 6, 5, 8. I'm sorry, 7, 5, shift, to second position. 4, 2, 5, 3, 2, 5, 3. All right, so that's the C scale. So work on that. You can use a pick if you want. If you're not a finger guy, you know. But that shift thing is really good because it'll help you with. It'll help you with your pentatonic scales too, to be able to shift around. Just that little bit of a thing. And again, one thing we can do, again, I'm on the second fret with my first finger of the G string. You can snicker now if you're in junior high. And then third finger at the fourth fret, and then shift up to the fifth fret, and first finger, and then third finger again at the seventh fret. So fret-wise, it's 2, 4, 5, 7, 2, 4, 5, 7, 2, 4, 5, 7. Okay? Fingering-wise, it's 1, 3, 1, 3. And again, Segovia created these scales. He basically said, what's the most efficient way to play every major and minor scale? So he tried a bunch of different things. He probably did a, you know, like... might have done a shift there. He might have waited. Could have waited there, but what he wanted was the easiest, and if it was the easier something is, the easier it is to play something very quickly. All right, if that makes sense. Oh, nice. Oh, so they're coming an amp from Shad, whatever. I think Brad got my friend that owns Malibu Music, and I may edit a short video about Malibu Music and post that. So I have to write the voiceover, but yeah. Oh, Middle Eastern part of the Netherlands. Yeah. Which is a growing part, no doubt. I'm trying to think. You know what I had, Dennis, when we were in we were in Amsterdam. I found a Rystofel place. And when I was a little kid, I was 12 years old. It was right before, it was the spring before I turned 13. So I turned 13. My parents took us to, I'd never been to the Caribbean before, still haven't been since. They took us to Curacao, which was an island. It's one of the ABCs. Aruba, what's the B? I can't remember. Is it not St. Bart's, is it? Aruba, not Borneo. Anyway, Curacao is the third island that's kind of off the coast of Venezuela. In fact, in the distance, you almost always seen like oil tankers going back and forth. But the whole family went to this Indonesian Rystofel restaurant, because there are a lot of Indonesians. I guess Indonesia was a colony or protectorate of Holland at one point, of Netherlands, and so and this Curacao was a Dutch island, Dutch protectorate, and we went to this Indonesian restaurant there, and it was just like they just kept bringing food. It was like little like 10, 20, 30 different sauces, just trying everything and dunking. And it was, so I'd never had it since. And I wanted to take Beth and see if she, if I had, my only memory of it was all of that, all the different options, like just course after course after course. And so I went ahead and got a multi-course Bonaire. Dang, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. Thank you. Are they all Dutch islands? Are they all part of Dutch, or are they just coincidentally ABC islands next to each other? And they're different protectorates. I don't know. But and so at this restaurant we went to in Holland, in Amsterdam, did the same thing. I went ahead and ordered the multi-course thing. It was a little expensive, but it was fine. I mean, if we were on vacation and you want to do those kind of things. Yeah, they govern themselves. Yeah, well, that's true of all the islands. Yeah, Jamaica used to be part of England. Basically, the Virgin Islands are part of the U.S., but they all govern themselves. Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. Dominican Republic, was that French? No, that was Spanish. They speak Spanish. That was a Spanish. So, anyway. So there's tab up here. Okay. And then the basically the scale down there on the fretboard. So you can see the fingerings and the shapes and everything. I think it's right. I just found this on the web. Yeah, and there's Turks and Caicos, and I don't know who they were part of. That seems to be a really common place to go, though. I know Bieber went there, and a bunch of my friends went down there. So, like a lot of my record producer friends and stuff went down there. I think it's kind of expensive, but it's also kind of rustic. And that's what they like about it. So, we'll talk more about the right-hand stuff next week. If you can try to get this down, maybe if you want to just do one finger, that's fine for now. But if you want to try to alternate, go very slow and make sure. Maybe while you're doing it, once you memorize this, you're going to have to memorize this. So if you want, you can use a pick. Now let me just check something real quick. If I go one octave, I still end up with the same finger I started with. And that's kind of your clue that you got it right. I mean, you still could mess up. If you mess up twice, then you'll think, oh, I landed on my index finger. That means I did it right. But you may not have. But that's one of the things where I literally had to go, I am, 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 I. You know, my mom was like, what are you talking about? So, nice. We're going to hit 80 this week. Just in time for NAM. I think Thursday is going to be 80 degrees. But we're mostly in the 60s, lows in the 40s. When I walked to coffee this morning, it was 45. I had to put a coat on. So, yeah, where's the game? The championship game's in New Orleans. So, actually really loved watching both those football games. The Eagles won with the snow. That was so awesome. People are commenting, why don't they cancel the game or postpone? It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, do a YouTube search for the messiest games. You know, the Wind Bowl, the Mud Bowl, the Snow Bowl, the Rain Bowl. I mean, they've got so many games, NFL games that were named, usually championship games or something, were named for the weather. The Wind Bowl was like hilarious. They kicked the ball and it would just go right out of bounds. It's just they didn't have a chance. But anyway, so I've got to take off. I'm glad everybody's doing well. Enjoy your day off. I don't think we got to. Now watch it. Watch me check and it's going to be peaking. We got a little bit higher. We got maybe 23, 22? 22, yeah. I didn't expect very high today. My hope is to be here next Monday, and we'll continue talking about this. Will we get to minor scales? You know what? I may do G major, because here's the thing about the C major one, okay? You learn this one. And I don't think they do B major that way because B is here. So they actually start B major here. I believe. I'm going to have to review it. But basically, this is by memorizing this shape, and eventually you want to do it without looking at your hands. You should be able to get that down. The harder ones are the majors, and the minors, the long ones. Hey Sam, good to see you. AJ's in the house now. Didn't see you. But the nice thing about that is that's also the same exact scale if you move it up a fret for C sharp or D flat, and for D, and for E flat. So if you get tired of hearing the same C scale over and over again, go back and forth between those. And now you know, so I told you there's a total of 24, right? 12 major, 12 minor. Well, that technically, if you've got this down, you've learned 4 of them. And that's the same thing with the G major. I think the G major one is technically F sharp all the way to B. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another 6. So between those two, you're going to have almost half of them. All right? All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I will see you hopefully next Monday, Lord willing. And God bless you all. Have a great Monday. Have a great rest of the week. Stay safe. Yeah, and Dennis, be careful in that fog, driving around that fog. Okay, maybe stay home for the rest of the day. Well, you're not going out tonight. You're home. But it took you a while because of traffic. So, Saba. Us. Yep. Cheers, everyone. Oh, Sadie, bye-bye.